doing another video showing you the real reasons why ICT takes the trades that he does, and providing further proof that what he teaches isn't the truth, well, isn't the whole truth, and he actually takes all of his trades based off of Goldbach and the Goldbach levels. Now, very briefly, Goldbach is the mathematical principles which the algorithm uses to define the dealing ranges used by price, and also the PD arrays that price forms. Now, if you're new to Goldbach, go check out my previous videos and you should get a better understanding. But this is a request from a lot of you guys who wanted me to explain this trade also based off of Goldbach. Now, ICT outlines this fair value gap. So this is a trade he took on the 20th of November, and he outlined this fair value gap. And basically he had some limit orders inside this fair value gap. Now, the first question you have to ask yourself is, this fair value gap here, technically we already filled some of the imbalance. So why was ICT so interested in price coming back here? Is it the fact that this is the real fair value gap he talks about? Or is there something else in here, a hidden fair value gap as defined by Goldbach that hadn't been addressed yet, right? I'll answer that question for you. But essentially marked out this fair value gap, placed some limit orders inside the trade, missed his entry to begin with. But again, he was confident that his limit order would fill, which was below the actual fair value gap. I'll tell you why he was confident that it would go closer and deeper within this fair value gap. He was then filled, and then he took partials on the way up. Now, you can find this video on YouTube. It was on the 20th of November on his official channel. There you go. I am now going to show you why he took the trade and the fact that he's actually using Goldbach behind the scenes. So buckle up. This is the chart for NASDAQ E-mini. You see, we're on the 20th of November. This is the fair value gap that happened at 4 a.m. This is the first penetration of the fair value gap, which didn't fill his limit order. And this is what filled his limit order. Okay, so I'm going to mark out the fair value gap as he marked it out. There you go. So it's bottom of this candle to the top of this candle. I like marking it my own way. There you go. There's his fair value gap. Now for the Goldbach magic, and for me to reveal how the magician does his tricks. So going back to first principles on how you load this indicator up, it's called the DMN ICT AMD Goldbach indicator for the guys who are new on the channel, because a lot of you have joined recently. The indicator is loading. Let's tidy it up because we're not concerned about everything. So I'm going to remove the AMD boxes. Let's also make the labels in white. So you can see here, these will now be in white. Bang. So my previous video, I showed a scalp he took on the 9 power of 3 on the 1 minute time frame. This trade he took on the 81. Now within my mentorship, I teach you how to know which power of 3 to use. And this video was spurred from a mentorship call I had with a student today called Adam, who went through my call, and then we had a look at NASDAQ, and he was able to create, well, he's able to spot a golden bullet trade based off of the teaching. So great work today, Adam. It was nice to see you pick up that golden bullet so quickly. So we've set it to the 81 power of 3, and we just have to drop it down a little bit because its price is up here. But when ICT took the trade, the price was here. Now, again, to reiterate, This is not form fitted. The way it works is whatever the price is currently, the indicator, and I used to do this using Excel, using mathematics, will tell you what the low of the range is, what the high of the range is, where the extensions are, but more crucially, where all the PD arrays will form. So it's saying between here and here, you'll have a rejection block, order block, fair value gap, liquidity void, breaker block, mitigation block, EQ, and then you have the reverse on the go way up. So this would be your opposing, this would be your bearish order block. Now, why was ICT so interested in this fair value gap here? Because this fair value gap falls in the fair value gap GB level. Why didn't ICT set his limit order here, where the natural fair value gap is? Why did he put it in this area? Because this is actually where the fair value gap is, according to Goldbach. So let's have a look at his actual limit entries. Okay, he bought at, let's make sure I get this right. So one of his entries at 15,888 and a quarter, and one was at 15,890. So we just mark that line out. $15,890 was it? So he placed his order right near the Goldbach level. So he doesn't care about the fair value gap. He cared about the fair value GB level. And was it 888 the next one? There you go. So he wanted to buy within the fair value gap GB level. Do you understand? Do you understand now that what he was telling you was a half-truth? How did he know that this fair value gap would hold? Why didn't he care about this fair value gap or this volume imbalance? Okay, why did he show us the M1 time frame, but why did he set his limit order within the fair value gap GB level? Because Goldbach is what all algorithms are priced by. Let's see, where did he take his TPs? So he took it off at 15,910. 15,910. Okay, so I would have taken it off higher up, but that's fine. We trade differently, ICT and myself. But anyway, this is why ICT's fair value gaps hold, and maybe some of you up and coming traders, your fair value gaps get violated, because he knows that the fair value gaps that you need to trade are the ones that fall in the Goldbach GB levels. Do you understand? Now, ICT is a fantastic trader. I'm not taking anything away from him. But if he had told us about the Goldbach levels some 10 years ago, we would have become consistently profitable so much quicker. So much quicker. Now, thankfully, Hoppy was kind enough to put all the pieces together of how ICT really trades, and then he released this information in a book called Demystifying ICT, and a link to that book is in the description below. And once you buy a copy of the book, you get access to the Discord. I'm on that particular Discord, and then you can start learning some really advanced concepts. So this is just like beginner entry level stuff, right? To be honest, I'm not telling you anything amazing. It may be amazing to you because you don't know how ICT trades, but for me, this is like entry level stuff. But this is how the algorithm works, and this is how he takes a lot of his trades, and it's real simple. and he acts like a magician doing it. But, those of us in the know, we understand how Goldbach really works. So a quick video. It was just spurred from the fact that a mentorship student of mine took the call with me today, and then he was interested in NASDAQ. So we had a quick look example at NASDAQ, and that reminded me that ICT took a trade pre-Thanksgiving that a lot of people have asked me to break down. So this is your breakdown. ICT used the 81 power of 3. He took this fair value gap because it's in the fair value gap GB level as defined by Goldbach. He did not place his limit order at the fair value gap that he tells us about. He put it close to the fair value gap GB level, right? If you have any questions around Goldbach, or you would like me to explain more of ICT's trades, feel free to leave a comment below. My YouTube is Aircam Trader, and my Twitter is Aircam23. Once again, if you want to deep dive into ICT's concepts and really understand how he trades, not how he says he trades, but you actually want to understand the Goldbach behind it, there's a link to the official book and the full breakdown of Goldbach in the description below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you found it useful, please give me a like, give me a subscribe. I've got a super tiny channel, but I don't think anybody is explaining these concepts the way I am. And feel free to share this with your trading buddies. And let's all level up and get to ICT's level. And let's see who can beat ICT in the Robbins Cup in February next year.